For decades, we have been given a clear directive for healthy eating. Avoid white bread and choose whole wheat bread instead. It's become a symbol of making a healthy choice. The brown bread, full of fiber, vitamins, and minerals. The cornerstone of a sensible sandwich, a virtuous piece of toast. But what if this celebrated health food is hiding a dark secret? What if the very thing you're eating to be healthy is silently harming the most important organ in your body, your brain? Today, we're not listening to a nutritionist or a dietitian. We are listening to a neurologist. And from a neurologist's perspective, modern whole wheat bread is not the health food you think it is. It could be a primary contributor to brain fog, headaches, fatigue, and even more serious, long-term neurological decline. We're about to uncover the dark secret of whole wheat bread. First, we must understand that the wheat we eat today bears little resemblance to the wheat our ancestors ate. Ancient grains like einkorn and emmer were genetically simple. The wheat that makes up 99% of our global supply today is a scientifically engineered crop known as dwarf wheat. It was developed in the 1960s for high yields and pest resistance. But these genetic modifications came at a cost. They changed the very structure of the wheat's proteins, starches, and anti-nutrients. The whole wheat bread on your supermarket shelf is a product of this modern engineered grain. And its effect on your brain can be broken down into 3 hidden dangers. Danger. Number 1. The surprising blood sugar bomb. This is perhaps the biggest and most shocking secret. We eat whole wheat to keep our blood sugar stable, right? Because it's a complex carb. But a neurologist will tell you that your brain, while only 2% of your body weight, consumes 20% of your glucose supply. It's incredibly sensitive to swings in blood sugar. High blood sugar is profoundly toxic to brain cells. It leads to a process called glycation, where sugar molecules stick to proteins and fats, creating harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These AGEs cause inflammation and oxidative stress, and are heavily implicated in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. In fact, some scientists now refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes. Here's the secret. 2 slices of modern whole wheat bread can spike your blood sugar more than 2 tablespoons of pure table sugar. How is this possible? The reason lies in the structure of its starch. The primary carbohydrate in modern wheat is a unique compound called Amylopectin A. Amylopectin A is different from the starch in other whole foods like beans or vegetables. It is uniquely and rapidly digestible by our enzymes. Think of it like this. The starch in a bean is like a tightly packed ball of yarn that takes your body a long time to unravel. The Amylopectin A in modern wheat is like a loose, pre-unraveled pile of yarn. Your body can convert it to glucose with frightening speed. So, every time you eat that healthy whole wheat sandwich, you are subjecting your brain to a powerful, inflammatory glucose spike. This brings us to the second, more famous danger. Danger number 2. The gluten connection and the leaky brain. Gluten is the main protein in wheat. It's what gives bread its chewy, elastic texture. Most people have heard of celiac disease, a severe autoimmune reaction to gluten. But neurologists are increasingly focused on a much wider condition, non-celiac gluten sensitivity, or NCGS. With NCGS, you may not have the severe digestive distress of celiac, but gluten can trigger a powerful inflammatory response that directly targets your nervous system. The symptoms are neurological, brain fog, chronic headaches and migraines, fatigue and lethargy, anxiety and depression, even peripheral neuropathy, numbness and tingling in your hands and feet. How does this happen? Gluten can irritate the lining of your gut, contributing to a condition known as leaky gut. This allows undigested food particles and inflammatory molecules to pass into your bloodstream. Once in the blood, these inflammatory messengers can travel to the brain and breach the blood-brain barrier. This is the concept of a leaky brain. It means your brain's protective shield is compromised, allowing inflammation to run rampant, damaging neurons and disrupting communication. But there's another, more subtle layer to the gluten story. When gluten is digested, it can break down into peptides called gluteomorphins. The name tells you everything. Gluteo from gluten, and morphin like morphine. These are exorphins, opioid-like compounds that can bind to opioid receptors in your brain. This can create a subtle, almost addictive feeling. It explains why you crave bread and why you might feel a temporary, foggy sense of comfort after eating it. It's a low-grade neurological disruption happening every time you eat your daily bread. Now for the third danger, which involves what is stolen from your brain. Danger number 3, the anti-nutrient thieves. Plants don't want to be eaten. To protect themselves, they have evolved to contain compounds called anti-nutrients. Whole wheat, especially in its unprocessed bran, is loaded with them. The first is phytic acid, or phytates. Phytic acid is known as a mineral chelator. This means it binds to essential minerals in your meal and prevents your body from absorbing them. Which minerals? Zinc, which is critical for neurotransmitter function and memory. Iron, which is needed to carry oxygen to the brain. And magnesium, the brain's great calming mineral, essential for preventing anxiety and promoting restful sleep. You might be eating a nutritious meal alongside your whole wheat bread, but the phytic acid is acting like a thief, stealing these vital brain nutrients before you can use them. The second anti-nutrient is a class of proteins called lectins. The most well-studied lectin in wheat is wheat germ agglutinin, or WGA. WGA is a sticky, resilient protein that can bind to the lining of your gut, causing irritation and contributing to that leaky gut we discussed earlier. It's another mechanism that drives inflammation from your gut straight to your brain. So, let's recap the neurologist's case against modern whole wheat bread. Its unique starch, Amylopectin A, causes a dangerous blood sugar spike that is toxic to brain cells. Its protein, gluten, can trigger brain inflammation and create opioid-like compounds that cause fog and cravings. Its anti-nutrients, phytates, and lectins steal essential brain minerals and further irritate the gut. This is a bleak picture. So what is the solution? What should we eat instead? Here is a neurologist's guide to better carbohydrates. Solution. Number 1. Choose truly ancient grains properly prepared. If you are going to eat bread, choose one made from a truly ancient grain, like einkorn, spelt, or kamut. Even more importantly, make sure it is prepared using the traditional sourdough fermentation method. The long fermentation process of true sourdough does something amazing. The wild yeasts and bacteria pre-digest the grain for you. They break down a significant portion of the gluten. They neutralize a large amount of the phytic acid, liberating the minerals. A slice of true, long-fermented sourdough einkorn bread is metabolically worlds apart from a slice of commercial whole wheat bread. Solution number 2. Embrace gluten-free, whole food carbs. You don't need bread to get healthy carbohydrates and fiber. Some of the best foods for your brain are naturally gluten-free. Sweet potatoes are packed with vitamins and provide a very slow release of energy. Quinoa is a complete protein and is rich in magnesium. Buckwheat, despite its name, has no relation to wheat and is a fantastic source of fiber. White rice, eaten in moderation with protein and fat, is often more easily digested and less problematic for many than modern wheat. Solution number 3. Consider grain-free options. For those looking to go low-carb or simply avoid grains altogether, there are now many excellent breads made from alternative flours. Breads made with almond flour or coconut flour are rich in fiber and healthy fats, with a minimal impact on blood sugar. The final message is this: the healthy choice is not always what it seems. The marketing of whole wheat as a health food is one of the great deceptions of modern nutrition. From a neurological perspective, the product on our shelves today is a perfect storm of brain-damaging compounds. It's not about fearing food, it's about understanding it. By switching from modern whole wheat to truly nutrient-dense, brain-supportive carbohydrates, You can clear the fog, lift your energy, and take a powerful step in protecting your brain for the long term. Your brain is your most valuable asset. It's time to stop feeding it with a hidden poison and start nourishing it with the foods it truly needs to thrive.